Welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber and this is Cooper. We're so glad to have you here today. For today's practice, you will need 2 blocks or something that works as blocks like books or boxes. And come to a seat or lie down, make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. There is a squirrel that visits me and I listen. At the window from my desk in the mossy Portland tree, leaves rustle. Listen. He jumps from branch to branch, hugs and scratches and looks at me with one pebbled black eye as if he's listening. Scratches down the crippled branches, his tail a metronome of tapping, a language, a message, a warning. He beckons me to listen. From the pane of glass that separates us, a structural sense of safety, distance. Creamy white mushrooms harden like the fingers of a piano, 88 keys, all a different sound. It is not my life that is important here, less or more. It is not him interfering, distracting me, but the other way, and I listen. In practice today, as we get on our mat and move and breathe, can our intention include cultivating and developing this deep level of listening? As we listen to our physical body and how it feels in each posture, can we go one step deeper and connect to our breath and allow the listening to include this deep feeling, which is a listening in a sense. And as we listen and cultivate this deeper relationship with our body, we're able then to cultivate and develop deeper relationships in our life as we listen to our partners and our friends and our coworkers. And then we can take that even one step further and listen more deeply and profoundly to our greater community in the world. Grab one of your blocks and lie down on your back. As you lay down on your back, extend your feet to the sky, and with the block or whatever you're using for the block, place it between your hands and lift that up too. Press your palms into the block so your arms activate. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine and then begin to lower your left leg to about 2 inches from the floor. So this is one option. I already start to feel my core here. It's a great option. If you need to bend the top knee, you can do that as well. But begin to turn your left knee in a bit so the left inner thigh starts to dial down. And then the second option is to reach your arms overhead, press into the block. And then the final option is to lift your head literally 1 inch from the floor, and then hold for 3, 2, 1. Lift the block, lower your head, lift the leg. Take a breath. Other side, inhale, expand your belly. Exhale, draw the lower belly in between the navel and the pelvic bone, and then hover, keep breathing. Hover your right leg from the floor a couple inches. If you know you're staying here, stay here. Otherwise, extend the arms back behind you, push into the block wherever your arms are. Final option is to lift the head 1 inch and hold 3, 2, 1. Lower your head, lift your hands, lift your foot, take a breath. Place your feet on the mat and then put the block kind of like the second setting. I considered this like first setting, second setting, and that would be third setting. So place it second setting between your thigh bones. So your knees are about hip distance to outer hip distance apart. Align your feet like that too. Okay? And instead of having your ankles right under your knees, walk them forward at least 1 inch. Squeeze the block. Bend your elbows, puff your chest up. Now, try not to look around. If you need to, look at me at your screen, try to move with your eyes. And if you can't, then come up out of the pose and look at what I'm doing, and then do it, because your neck is such a fragile place in our body. Keep the head really stable. Squeeze the block. Press your shoulder blades down. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift your hips up. Print your shoulder blades on the mat. And then lower your hips about 2 inches lower than they are. Squeeze your block and just see it's going to be very subtle, but could you spit the block down to the mat? So instead of pushing it up to the sky like I'm doing right there, see if you could rotate the block down, squeeze, and then lift your hips back up. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down. Place your block to the side. Hug your knees to your chest. Take a breath. As you hug your knees in, breathing into your belly, the place right between where the navel is and your pelvic bone is. On the inhale, expand your lower belly up towards your thigh bones. And when you exhale, allow that part of your belly between the navel and the pelvic bone to kind of collapse or retract, to engage even. And do that one more time. Inhale, expand your belly between the navel and the pelvic bone toward the thighs. And then when you exhale, allow it to draw in. Great. Cross out your ankles and rock up to a seat, or you can roll over and come up to a seat. Swing your legs around and come onto your hands and knees. Table pose. Spreading your fingers evenly. Place the ball of your index finger more to the mat. So try to firmly anchor that down, your inner palm. Inhale, reach your heart forward, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, curl your toes under, and then keep drawing the ball of the index finger down as you lift up to downward facing dog pose. Just one more time. Lower your knees. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, shift your hips back and up, down dog. Plug the ball of the index finger down. Bend your right knee, press your left heel down. Switch your legs, bend your left knee, press your right heel down. Bend both knees and grab the sides of your mat or your blanket. If you're on a blanket, grab the sides of it and tug it forward. And as you tug it forward, lengthen your spine all the way up towards your sit bones with your knees bent. And as you tug forward, kind of drawing the shoulders toward the earlobes, begin to wrap the outer upper arm so your upper back widens now. Then begin to straighten your legs. Plant your palms flat on your mat again. Take a breath. Lower your knees all the way back down and bring them together on your mat. And if you need a blanket, you need some extra padding, pull over your blanket. But knees are together, continuing to do the work to plug the inner palm down as much as you feel the outer palm pressing down. Try to equal that out. Take a breath into your belly. As you exhale, draw the lower belly up between the navel and the pelvic bone. Extend your left leg back. Dial that knee in. So now the left inner thigh is spinning to the sky. Option to reach your right arm forward. So you're balancing on your left hand and your right knee. Plug the root knuckle of your left index finger down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze down the midline. Curl in. Inhale, extend. Do that just one more time. Exhale, lower belly engages as you draw down the midline. Inhale, extend. Lower your hand and your knee as you exhale. Remember, knees right next to each other. Take a breath into your belly here. Exhale, draw the lower belly in. Extend your right leg back without losing the core engagement. Turn your right knee in so the right inner thigh spirals up. Option to reach the left hand forward. And press the ball of the right index finger down. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbow, the knee, crunch down the midline. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. And then place your hand and your knee down as you exhale. Lower all the way to your belly. Come all the way down and then slide your left hand over for the chest stretch. So the palm is flat, the hand reaches out from the shoulder. Place your left ear on something. It can be the floor or a prop. Take a breath in. Exhale, pivot onto your left side and perhaps swing the right leg back behind you, or you can bend the knee and place the foot on the floor, or the foot could be out in front, whatever's best for your hips and your back. Let this focus on opening your chest. Okay, and as you do this, breathe into your left lung, expand the rib cage toward the mat, the floor on the inhale. Exhale, soften. Great, let's switch sides. Come down to your belly. Move any props out of the way that are in your way. Okay, and then extend your right hand over so the wrist is in line with your shoulder now. Place your right ear to something, a block, a blanket, the floor. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, pivot onto your right side now. Notice if the side is different or similar. And then listening to your breath. Allowing yourself to be a witness and aware of the physical sensation this pose is creating, almost in a way externally, an external awareness of the body, but then allow the breath to draw you in a little deeper internally. And the listening, you can hear the breath, but it becomes more of listening through feeling. Come down onto your belly, rest your forehead on your mat, and place your arms in a goalpost position. So now your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Print your toenails down, like really press your toenails down. Firm your legs. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And then press your pelvic bone down. Lift your arms up so your elbows may be in line with the shoulders now. So lifting there. And then as you keep pressing the pelvic bone down, lift your head maybe an inch from the floor. Widen your forearms away from your heart like they're being magnetized toward the side walls. Take a breath. Exhale, release. One more time, press your toenails down. Firm your legs, squeeze your inner thighs together and press your pelvic bone down. Lift your elbows up the height of your shoulders. Widen your forearms to the side walls. Lift your head 2 inches. As you press your pelvic bone down, maybe lift everything up a little bit more. Take a breath in. Exhale, release. Place your hands by your rib cage or under your shoulders. Lift to table position. And grab your blocks, right? So grabbing the blocks, whatever you're using for your blocks, bring those over. And from here, step your right foot forward. So you're in a lunge. Again, you can use padding under your left knee if you need it. But press your left shin down to like firmly plant that and find a little grounding through that action. Blocks can go up higher. Lean your pelvis forward. Take a breath. And notice where the weight is on your right foot. Is it to the outside edge of the foot, kind of rocking in that direction, or is it more to the inside edge? Equal it out. Try to press down and widen the foot by widening your toes. Press the ball of your big toe and your little toe down, your inner and outer heel. Like stamp the foot. Relax your toes back down. Take a breath in. Curl your left toes under now. Lift that knee up. Lift your hips up 2 inches higher than they are. And then turn your left knee in just a little bit. Reach your chest forward, inhale. Exhale, straighten your right leg any amount and fold over that leg. Still aware of where you're putting your weight on your right foot. One more breath. Bend the knee, inhale. Lower your left knee, exhale, and step back to table, and you'll just switch. So step your left foot forward. Right. Lean your pelvis forward. Just stretch into the right quad. Lift your chest. And then consider where you're putting the weight on this foot. Right? Because it's going to be different than the other foot. So just noticing what is. happening. And then press down through the ball of the big toe, the little toe widen your toes. Press down more equally through the inner and outer heel. And then lower your toes back down. Lift your chest, inhale. Curl the back toes under, lift that knee, pause. Lift your hips up 2 inches higher than you are. Turn the right knee in. So essentially the inner thigh rotates up. Take a breath. Straighten your left leg, inhale out. Repress the sole of the left foot down as you fold. Breathe. You turn the right knee in just a little bit. Right, inhale, bend the knee. This time, step forward when you exhale. Move your blocks to the side. Bend your knees and interlace your fingers behind the small of your back. Right, extending the arms. If you have a strap or a blanket, you could hold onto that too, so your arms are a little straighter. And as you bend your knees, reach your heart towards your feet. And see what that's like to do that, to reach your heart towards your feet. And then start to reach your heart towards your pelvis. Take a breath. Squeeze your inner thighs together. With your knees bent and a flat back, inhale, come all the way to standing. Come on up. Release your hands, roll your shoulders in circles in one direction and the next. Okay, grab one of your blocks and place the block that wide setting like we did earlier on our back. Place it between your inner thighs. So feet will be maybe outer hip distance apart here as well. And as you squeeze the block, so bringing the feet in close enough so that you can actually squeeze the block, bend your knees and then inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Squeeze in, take a breath. Exhale, sweep your arms back behind you. Inhale, sweep them forward. Exhale, sweep back. Now this time, inhale, just your left arm forward. And as you exhale, switch, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Keep your right hand there. Inhale, let the left hand join. And now when you exhale, let's twist left. Reach your left hand back, your right arm forward. Inhale, both hands lift up. Exhale, pivot your right hand back, twist to the right. And then inhale, come up, squeeze one last time. And as you exhale, come all the way up to standing and remove the block. Hey, that was a lot, right? So put the block to the side. Bring your feet together. Place your hands at your heart. And align your chin parallel. So try not to tuck your chin if you're looking down for this one. Shift your weight to your right foot. Print the whole foot down like you were doing in the lunge earlier. Breathe into your belly, especially that quadrant between the navel and the pelvic bone. Draw in at the exhale. And then bend your left knee and reach back for the foot on the outside. Squeeze your inner thighs together like there's that block there still. Reach your left hand forward or put your hand on a wall. So you can always do this at the wall. Lift your chest, inhale. And when you exhale, start to kick the foot back. But even though the knee is separating from the right knee, imagine the block is still there and you're squeezing the inner thighs together. As you reach your heart forward, as you kick the foot back, squeeze the inner thighs, take a breath. Exhale, release it. Let's do the other side. So feet together, hands at your heart. Aware of the belly, your gazing point, steady but soft. Shift your weight to your left foot. Where's the weight? Try to equal it out. Bend your right knee, clasp the foot. Maybe right here, your hand goes to the wall. Squeeze the knees together. Take a breath in. Lift your heart. When you exhale, kick the right foot back now. And the knees separate, but still squeeze into the midline. Like you're squeezing an imaginary block. Lift your chest, dancer pose, inhale. Exhale, release the foot right next to the left foot, hands at your heart. Lift your arms up on the inhale, look up. Exhale, hands all the way down by your sides, look down. Inhale, reach the hands up, stay here. Bend your knees on the exhale. Let your heels lift. Come up onto your tiptoes. Reach your hands forward. As you come onto your tiptoes, start to lower down so you're kind of in the squatting position. And then begin to open your knees, squeezing your heels together. Turn your palms in, reach forward to then lower to the heels and come to seated. As best as you can. Walk the feet forward. Take your hands under your hamstrings. Lift your chest. Breathe. Lean back. Lift one foot. Lift your chest. Lean back and maybe lift the other foot. A boat pose, Navasana. Another option is to extend the arms forward, drawing the belly in, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your feet, grab under the hamstrings, and then round your back. Scoop the belly in as you very, very, very slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Come all the way down, and once you come down, cross your right ankle onto your left thigh. Flex the foot. You can stay here or interlace your fingers around the left leg. And soften your jaw. Soften your belly. And then listen as you hold this. Listen to your body. So that listening comes forth in maybe, where do you feel this the most? But also maybe where do you feel this the least? Listen to your breath. And then switch sides. So place both feet down. Cross your left ankle on top of the right thigh. You stay here or begin to lift the legs and interlace the fingers around your right leg. Listen to and feel. So the listening becomes a feeling action. Does this side feel different than the other side? As you watch through your breath, it's not that we are dismissing any other kind of distractions or mental or emotional responses. You're actually inviting awareness of that too. But stay tethered to your breath. Okay, slowly unwind, place your feet to the floor. Cross your right ankle, your right knee on top of your left knee. Lift your knees up. Grab your shins, flex your feet, and kind of pull the feet apart so your knees are stacked. Pull the feet apart toward your body. Deep breath there. And switch your legs. A deep breath there. Unwind, rock up to a seat and find a comfortable seat. So if you have a blanket, pull that over, or a pillow, pull that over. Crossing the legs in front of you in a seated position with the feet flexed and the knees under, the feet under the knees. Lift your chest on the inhale. And as you exhale, walk forward and fold any amount. You can take any other variations of seated, but relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Take a breath in and a breath out. Walk your hands back and switch your legs. You're just going to take the other leg in the front. Sometimes you have to manually help yourself do that with your arms. That's okay. Lift your chest on the inhale. Exhale, crawl out any amount. Allow the muscles of your face to soften. And be right here with whatever is coming up for you. Okay, walk back and find any comfortable seated position, or you can lie down as well if you prefer. But we'll do 3 rounds of what's called Bhramari Pranayama or Bumblebee Breath. We'll start together and then you'll kind of go on your own because everybody has different lengths of breath depending on the day. So with Bhramari Pranayama, which is Bumblebee Breath, you'll do a very low hum your whole exhale, and you'll exhale to your whole capacity. Your inhale is just normal, your normal inhale without making any noise. So the Bumblebee breath sounds like this. And you'll do it your whole exhale. When you do it, we'll cup our hands over our ears. So that kind of holds that sense off a little bit. It shuts that sense so that you're able to turn inward. Try not to clench your teeth, so there's space between your upper and lower rows of teeth, and meditate on the vibration at your throat and your chest. This is very calming for the nervous system. We'll start together. Cup your ears, inhale, and begin. You're finished. Release your hands on your thighs. Observe and listen to the effects of that breathing technique. If you can stay in meditation, or feel free to lie down in Shavasana and take a few moments connecting to this inner listening. As you sit in meditation or you're lying down in meditation, connect to the part of yourself that can listen, not just to the external, but go inward and listen. What is trying to be heard? And staying where you are for a few moments. Whenever you're ready to open your eyes and come back up to seated, if you're lying down, do that. Take your time. And thank you so much for practicing with me with this edition of Sundays with Amber that's available all week. And I hope to see you next Sunday on Sundays with Amber.